give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Questions she asked. So I'm excited to get into this, because I think a lot of you have this and don't realize it, that it's happening. So she says, I'm in a, she and her husband are in this sort of dynamic where her husband will lie to manage her emotions. Do you know how common this is? I just want to say that this happens all the time, but people don't realize that's what's happening, that someone is saying yes, yes, yes to something because they don't want you to get upset. But then later they're going and doing whatever it is that they really wanted to do anyway. And they're kind of ignoring what you asked or whatever, or they're again saying yes to things that they really don't want to say yes to because they're trying not to get you upset. And that's lying. It's lying. I know. But we don't necessarily think of it as lying. Lying we think of as more as, she said she was out with her girlfriends and she was really out with a guy. That's a lie. That feels like the lie. But this managing emotions, and I do want to say though, I put it in a slightly different category than quote unquote regular lying like that. Like, maybe you're cheating on your partner and you're lying about it. That to me is different than this emotional manipulation. Most of the time people do it and they have no idea they're doing it. And that is different than lying. When we lie, we know we're doing it. So I want to say that first. First, I haven't even read the whole question yet, but I want to say that first and foremost. So, and it also helps you really think of it differently. Your partner trying to manage your emotions isn't cool, and we want to change that, but they're not knowingly, maliciously trying to get over, usually. Sometimes they are if they, again, if there's a really sinister thing going on. But what this woman's talking about and what other people have come to me with, it's usually not sinister. It's just people trying to get by in their marriage and trying not to rock the boat is generally what it is. But of course, when that happens, we avoid intimacy and closeness, and that becomes a problem. So let me keep reading, and I'll try to shut up for a moment. So now I have to find my place. Sorry. So she says, he lies to manage my emotion. Isn't he expects constant peace and happiness and avoids having the experience of uncomfortable emotions. So he's really wanting it always to be like good. He doesn't want to see me sad, or thinks that he just wants a happy, peaceful evening. So maybe, she tries to talk to him and he's avoiding things. For me, this feels fake and doesn't allow us to have a deep, intimate connection. True. I understand this need in him. She's, by the way, this person who wrote this, I wish I could say her name out loud, but I'm keeping it anonymous. But I love how she's writing this. It's just beautiful because she's taking responsibility too and being very loving about it. So, but it's okay if you write to me and you're just bitching and moaning about your partner. We're cool. We're going to be cool. So only for me, this feels fake and doesn't allow us to have a deep, intimate connection. I understand this need in him. Only certain emotions must have been allowed in his family. And I suspect that everyone was.
Oh, this is deep. This is another deep topic. And because I've been writing a curriculum for my master class, August 3rd and 4th, my master class. Listen, KBLA listeners, this is the Voice of Reason live from KBLA Talk 1580. If you have been enjoying the Voice of Reason, you might as well sign up for Zoe Williams' masterclass. When I tell you it's going to be amazing, go to onestream.tv/the relationship ER. Yes, the relationship emergency room. Because what this lady is describing here, I've done it. Not being malicious, but trying to protect your partner's feelings. I've done it. And because I've been doing all of this research, writing a curriculum, working on my forthcoming book, and all these different things, right? I have gotten so deep into attachment theory that it's bananas, right? It is absolutely bananas. And I stumbled across a discussion that was mentioned in a video that led me to Reddit. There's a discussion on Reddit about avoidant types and how they are desirous of pocket relationships. So when I started to go into pocket relationships, oh my goodness, it's weird. So you've heard, I'm sure, as a child growing up, what happened in this house stays in this house. You've heard that. You've heard what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, this is our business. It's nobody else's business. Nobody should be in this relationship. You've heard this before. But I bet what you haven't heard, the pocket relationship, although there are different definitions for it, right? And there's different rules to it. So a pocket relationship is, I'm going to avoid introducing my partner to other people, right? Regardless of how long we've been dating. I'm not going to introduce you to my family. I'm not going to introduce you to my friends. We're in a bubble, and they call it a pocket relationship. We're in a bubble, right? And that's one kind of what they call pocketing, right? Pocketing is a dating term that describes when one partner in a relationship avoids introducing their partners to others, even after a long period of dating. This can include not mentioning their partner on social media or among friends and family, or avoiding introducing them in person at social gatherings. Now, that's the external piece. Now, we've learned quite a bit on this show that there is never an external that trumps an internal. So, pocketing within the relationship, meaning I'm going to avoid having real conversation with you. I'm not going to share what's on my soul, what's on my heart, my fears. I'm going to try to get us into this toxic positivity space of just being right here, not addressing anything, not dealing with it. And these are things that need to be dealt with, right? This is why there is a term called toxic positivity, where we're just going to focus on the good. Well, no healthy relationship can sustain itself if you just focus on the good. There are things within each person's psyche, their soul, their being, that needs to be addressed, that needs to be nurtured, that needs to be empathized with, and shared, right? So Dr. Mark Goulston broke this down to me once, and he was like, yo, if you look at an AA meeting, he says there's something called disclosure reciprocity. This is why so many relationships break up and end without any real closure, because there's some pocketing of deep-seated emotional hurt that's going on, and the relationship can't sustain itself on trips and good times and good vibes, because even when you're in that beautiful place, there's still that unaddressed, unrequited wound in your spirit. Tonight's topic, pocket relationships, the Las Vegas of relationships. Taking what goes on in this relationship, stays in this relationship to an extreme level. What are some consequences of withholding authenticity in a relationship? What connection can be drawn between toxic positivity and the vulnerability deficits experienced by avoidant attachment styles? Woo, 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines right now. True or false? Avoidance of difficult conversations is a key indicator that one or both partners lack emotional intelligence and connection. 1-800-920-1580. Have you ever experienced, you may not have known what the term was. We're in a bubble, and the only thing in this bubble that matters is our experience with each other in good times. When we got to talk, one of us steps out of the bubble. When we need a real conversation to happen, where real transparency and real authentic disclosure must happen. No. I'm not opening up even within this bubble. So imagine being in a relationship like that, where the external piece, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who they are. But on the inside, you guys don't really know each other, because there's some internal pocketing going on as well as the external pocketing that's going on. Oh my God. Is it possible to be emotionally unsafe for yourself? I don't want to deal with these deep down dark feelings. I don't want to deal with it. It's unsafe for me to probe these things, even in an intrapersonal relationship. Is it possible to be emotionally unsafe for oneself? How can providing an emotional safe space for yourself be developed? And how can you use that self-vulnerability to be vulnerable with your partner? How does one determine the source of their desire to be closer to their partner? Ooh, this is deep. In what ways can we monitor our motivations for intimacy within relationships? How does dependence and avoidance, both used by avoidant partners as tools, when it comes to manipulating the vulnerability of the anxious partner. True or false, pocketing in a relationship can lead to feelings of isolation, rejection, and low self-worth in the pocketed individual. This is a deep conversation. When we come forward, you already know what it is. I'm opening the phone lines, and I'm going to get even deeper.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. Just a few short months ago, California Attorney General Rob Bonta filed 11 felony charges against Diana Turan, an assistant district attorney for Los Angeles County. The charges allege that Turan unlawfully accessed confidential computer data, including police officer files in 2018, and continued to use them after joining the DA's office in 2021. Ironically, Turan, who is now on administrative leave, oversaw the Public Integrity Division, responsible for handling high-profile cases of police misconduct and public corruption, including the charges brought against LA City Council member Karen Price last June. To be sure, the case against Price has raised plenty of eyebrows. Indeed, one noted legal scholar has said publicly, and I quote, "Everything about this prosecution reeks," close quote. Could A.G. Bonta, with aspirations to become California governor, be punishing Turan for her role in D.A. George Gascon's police accountability agenda to curry favor with police unions? Could D.A. Gascon be using the case against Price to showcase his tough stance on crime and political corruption as he vies to retain his seat as D.A.? Honestly, I have no idea, but here's what I know for sure. Karen Price has been elected and re-elected by thousands of voters, mostly black and brown, who stand to be further disenfranchised if this matter is not handled correctly, which is why it matters to us at KBLA Talk 1580. When the prosecutor is being prosecuted, it seems to me that at the very least, there ought to be a thorough, top-to-bottom, independent review of all cases under Diana Turan's purview to ensure that none of these cases have been tainted. Justice and fundamental fairness demand no less, if public trust truly matters. And I hope it does. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley. We welcome your feedback.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. You don't like how I
What's up, Culture Drop? This video is about difficult conversations and specifically, what is the impact of not having those conversations? This conversation is important. One of the training and skills kind of development that I do with teams is around building a culture of feedback and also providing some framework for having difficult conversations and navigating little conflicts to big conflicts inside a company. Something that always stands out in a big way in those conversations with teams and organizations is the question of what is the impact of not having this conversation? If somebody is upset with somebody else that they work with, or they're feeling unfair or not listened to or something, right? They're having some kind of experience that is not great, or they're having some kind of conflict with somebody else. The most telling reflection in some of those conversations are like, what is the impact of not having this conversation? And down the road, it's always the same result, because people understand this, is that like, if we don't resolve these little instances of conflict or static between people, what happens is we absorb that, we avoid the conversation, and it turns into resentment. It turns into a strained relationship. It turns into low morale, somebody checking out mentally, causes morale issues. It causes dysfunction on the organization and like these strained relationships where these two people now like hate each other and don't work well together because they had some conflict a long time ago that never got resolved. And this is so important.
Man, you can't have it both ways. We can't be in our own little bubble. It's just us two, us against the world. We're in our bubble, but we're within bubbles within a bubble. Like the truth of you, the honesty of you. Like, do you know how easy it is for people to tell the truth when it's over? When they get fed up? So I'm fed up now, and there's no way to fix this. We're not coming back. Okay, here we go. I'll give you a piece of what I held on to. Did you know there exists a phenomenon known as pocket relationships where individuals are kept hidden away from the public eye, akin to the secrets of Las Vegas? What happens in this relationship stays in this relationship, taken to an extreme level. This concept raises profound questions about authenticity, vulnerability, emotional safety, and the complex interplay of psychological dynamics within intimate connections. What exactly is a pocketing relationship? And how can we navigate its treacherous waters toward a path of healing, growth, and authenticity? To delve into this inquiry, we must first understand the motivations behind why individuals choose to pocket their feelings with regards to opening up and sharing with their significant other. People may engage in pocketing behavior due to the fear of commitment, intimacy, vulnerability. It can stem from unresolved childhood trauma, as whenever we're talking about relationships, we're going to get that call back, right? Attachment issues or a desire to maintain control and power within the relationship itself. True or false? A classic sign of internal pocketing is when meeting others, right? I'm not even going to read that one. I don't want to give that away. That's too early. But what I found in my research is that people who have one of the three maladaptive attachment styles, right? Anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, fearful avoidant, aka disorganized, may use internal pocketing. They've been doing it since they were kids. The anxious, I'm looking to be seen as worthy, right? I have a worthiness wound. I want acceptance. I want to be accepted for who I am. But wait a minute, I can't tell you all that I am, because if I tell you everything that I am, you might judge me harshly, right? You might throw me away. That anxious preoccupied is a chaser. They don't want to be tossed away, right? They want to be pulled in. The dismissive avoidant loves independence. So they may internally pocket their feelings because Their independence might be threatened. Hey, I've learned to take care of myself from early on. When I found out that my primary caregiver was not going to nourish me emotionally, was not going to accept the full range of my emotions, they praised some and crapped on others. Hey, I knew I had to learn how to self-soothe. And then if you're fearful, avoidant, or disorganized, you have both the anxious and the avoidant. Oh my God, you got a double dose of wounding, which is double incentive to pocket your internal feelings about things, especially in a relationship. Oh, if I share this, I may scare them off. They may run away. How many of you guys are guilty of this? How many of you guys have found yourself doing this in an intimate relationship? This is a heavy topic, and we're starting to realize that withholding authenticity. Do you see? Withholding authenticity. See, authenticity is the truth of who you are, right? When you withhold that in an intimate relationship, you are building in what I like to call relational obsolescence. Obsolescence is sometimes it's timed. I can only do this for so long. Or sometimes it's overtime, meaning we're going to see how long this can last. A relationship can break down under those conditions if you withhold your authenticity. This is about to be deep. Are you pocketing your real feelings? Are you tucking them away, Andy? When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna open up the phone lines. Let's get it.
Check the similarity. The overseer rode around the plantation. The officer is on patrol in our nation. The overseer could stop you what you're doing. The officer will pull you over just when he's pursuing. The overseer had the right to get ill. And if you fought back, the overseer had the right to kill. The officer has the right to arrest. And if you fight back, they put a hole in your chest.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the U.S. and Israel must always stand together. During an address to a joint meeting of Congress, the Prime Minister thanked lawmakers on both sides of the aisle for their support and solidarity as Israel continues its war on Hamas. Netanyahu also called out anti-Israel protesters, accusing them of choosing to stand with evil. Dozens of Democrats, meanwhile, boycotted the speech due to the Prime Minister's handling of the war. Vice President Kamala Harris was also absent as she attended an event in Indianapolis. Nikki Haley is demanding a super PAC supporting Vice President Kamala Harris stop using her name. A law firm representing the former presidential candidate sent a cease and desist letter to Pivot PAC, an organization that originally supported Haley during her campaign. Now the PAC runs the project Haley Voters for Harris, an effort to get anti-Trump conservatives to support Kamala Harris. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. That's expresspros.com.
Yeah, yo, come on. Pick up the drum.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys. Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys?
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
All of them awesome. KRS got down. Yo, I'm strictly about skills and dope lyrical coasting. Relying on talent, not marketing and promotion. If a dope lyrical flow is a must, you got to go with the name you can quickly trust. I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stop wasting your money on marketing schemes and pretty packages pushing dreams to the fiends. A dope MC is a dope MC. With or without a record deal, all can see.
There are 4 techniques that I use whenever I'm going to have a difficult conversation that help me stay focused on what I need to talk about instead of getting hijacked by my emotions. Number 1, I always start the conversation by acknowledging my responsibility in the mess that we have to talk about. Whether it's the fact that I've avoided dealing with this sooner or whether there's something that I've done that's contributed to the situation, I acknowledge it right up front. And one of the reasons why that's so important is because by accepting some responsibility, you're diffusing the other person's emotion, you're also honoring them a little bit, and it sets a much more level playing field for when you get into the difficult things that you need to talk about. It's also going to put the person that you're speaking to a little at ease, so they're going to be able to listen. Number 2, you want to have a goal. Never go into a difficult conversation without an outcome defined before you go into it. The reason why the outcome is so important is because this conversation is going to be a roller coaster. The person that you're talking to might get upset. You yourself might feel emotional at some point, whether you're angry or you're triggered or you get sad. And so when you ride the roller coaster of emotion, the thing that is going to stabilize your thoughts is the outcome that you're causing. You're having this conversation because you're committed to making the relationship better. You're having this conversation because this isn't working, and so we need to end it powerfully. You're having this conversation because you want to give somebody some feedback that's not so fun to tell them, but you're giving it to them because you're committed to their success. Okay? So that goal, you feel yourself getting emotional, you come back to it.
So can I just say what the clinicians won't say? The 3 maladaptive attachment styles are the source of suffering. They're toxic. Fear is toxic to love. I'm sorry. So if you're anxious, preoccupied, and you haven't healed that, you're bringing toxicity into the relationship. Right? If you're avoidant, whether dismissive avoidant or fearful avoidant, disorganized, you're bringing toxicity into the relationship. Now, the concept is pocketing, right? Pocket relationships. We were doing the research. There's a book out there called Attached. Go get the book Attached, right? And it talks about how avoidants love this bubble relationship. They want to be in a bubble where it's just us two. Nothing else matters. Well, imagine if you're in that bubble and they have an internal bubble, an avoidant bubble that prevent them from having difficult conversations. That bubble turns into a cell, a prison. You've heard me say this before. We might start off as soulmates, but end up as cellmates if we don't reconcile this inner desire to pocket and avoid difficult conversations, right? Avoidance of difficult conversations serves as a key indicator of emotional immaturity and a lack of connection between partners. Emotional safety is not only about feeling secure with another, but also creating a safe space within oneself to explore vulnerability and authenticity. When you hear somebody say, you got to make me safe, that's spiritual immaturity. That's emotional immaturity. No, you are a co-creator of your reality. You got to get safe first so you can resonate, magnify, intensify, and radiate safety. But if you internally are unsafe, everybody can perform to the best of their ability. But when they fall off, oh my goodness, They failed you. They let you down. I never thought it would be you. By cultivating self-awareness and self-compassion, individuals can develop the courage to be open and vulnerable with their own patterns so they can be vulnerable with their partners, fostering a deeper sense of intimacy and connection. Here we go. Let's get these callers in here. Serenity, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Good evening, Zoe. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome to the show.
So in my 15 years of married and 10 years of being divorced experience, I've learned that when in a relationship, both people have to have the same level of care for and commitment to one another in order for there to say that you're in love. When that's not present, one person is infatuated while the other is just biding the time or using them for personal gain. This is why communication breaks down. In other words, I want a future with you, but the other person doesn't feel the same way, so they choose not to communicate fully, not wanting to blatantly hurt the other person, but not being committed to being with that person either. They're continuously looking for that 100% that they are not, abusing the love of the 80% love that they have, not understanding they have to have that 20% missing within themselves.
Why you come in here and slap people so violently with the truth? I feel assaulted right now, but I love it. I love it. Young lady, let me just ask you, do you know what you just did?
I just brought Albuquerque, New Mexico in the house.
You better believe it. You brought Albuquerque, New Mexico in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. She just slapped us all in the face. She talked about monkey branching. You know, I'm not really trying to hold on to you for the long haul. I'll hold on to you until a better version of you shows up. So I'm not going to reveal. I'm not going to. Then that leads to breadcrumbing. I'll give you a little to make you feel like there's a spark of magic. Ooh, my goodness. 1-800-920-1580. Let's get John from Mountain View up in here. John! Mountain View, Hawaii, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Doc, you made me come in after her. Man, I felt like I just got hit with an iron skillet.
Well, listen, just hold tight. I'll carry you over, let you gather your thoughts, and then we coming back to Hawaii, brother. Hey, the voice of reason is on fire right now. Don't miss it. All you got to do to get in on this conversation, call me, 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its Reparations Advisory Commission invites you to join us on LA's Road to Reparations. Join us in person on Juneteenth, Wednesday, June 19th, 10 a.m. at All People Community Center, 822 East 20th Street, Los Angeles, California, 90111, to learn the results of Black Experience Survey, focus groups, and one-on-one interviews, and to learn how you can share your input to develop LA City reparations. For more info, visit laisforeveryone.com today or call 213-978-1845.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying Black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. Cause I'm KRS and I'm on the mic and premieres on the breaks. Want a Grammy, I won't win a Tony, but I'm not the only MC keeping it real. When I grab the mic and smash a rap, my girls go ill. Check the time as I rhyme, it's 1995 whenever I arrive. The party gets liver, flow with the master rhymer. As I leave behind a video rapper, you know the chart climber, tapper. Down goes another rapper, on to another matter. Punch up the data, blast master. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everybody. Call up KRS, guaranteed to rip a party. Flat top heads are Nazi dread. There once was a story about a man named Jed, but now Jed is dead. All his kids instead wanna kick bombs up the top of their head. Word, we'll go around, come around, I figure. Now we got white kids calling themselves.
So we're gonna dive into some of the greatest fears, and we're gonna talk about how these things can really help us if we face them head on. You know, there's this idea that like we don't want to move away from our fears and run and hide from our fears. We want to move through them. We want to actually like look at them, address them, approach them head on. This is where the juice, the golden nuggets of our growth really comes from. So, this is really important work to do. And sometimes we have these big fears as different attachment styles, but as we actually face them, as we actually take a look, we can realize, hey, they're not actually that scary. So the very first fear, as you must imagine, for a dismissive avoidant attachment style is being vulnerable. And I really want to like highlight this idea here that like when we have huge fears, they often become cyclical. They become sort of like self-fulfilling prophecies. Let me give you an example. Let's pretend I'm a DA and I really don't like being vulnerable. And so I go into relationships and I hide myself. I hide how much I care. I hide my own fears. I hide feelings of insecurity. I don't ask for reassurance. I don't expect anybody to meet my needs. I don't want to rely on anybody, these sorts of things. Well, we're going to feel unseen, unheard, misunderstood in a relationship because how can somebody possibly understand me if I'm not sharing myself with somebody? And then it will reinforce this idea that, oh, we shouldn't be vulnerable because look, people just hurt us anyways. It doesn't feel good to open up to people because they're going to just hurt us. Being vulnerable, we can't take like a micro step towards vulnerability and expect that to be the solution. We have to actually do it. We have to like jump in the swimming pool. We have to put everything about us there. And it doesn't have to be immediate. It's not like we go on a first date and we share our whole life story, immediately, but it's a process over time of opening up, of sharing, what our fears are, what our needs are, asking questions when we feel, insecure or uncomfortable or unclear about something, putting ourselves out there, like really opening up, caring, showing that we care, validating others, all of that is how we actually get seen, understood, and supported. And people don't know how to support us or hear us or understand us best when they are like feeling around in the dark because we're not actually sharing our truth. And people are not mind readers, even if they're super hyper vigilant or really good at figuring stuff out or reading between the lines, they're not always going to get it right. And sometimes, dismissive avoidance get robbed of the life experience of like really having that deep interconnectedness. And I can't share how important it is to feel like you have like a partner that you can go through life with. And it doesn't just have to be a romantic partner. It's a good friend. It's a family member you can rely on. It's somebody you can open up to. And that allows you to feel like there's this like safe foundation that you can sort of spring from and grow from. And
Yo, she was cooking, man. We love Thais Gibson. Her work is great. Look her up on YouTube. Fire stuff. We got John from Mountain View, Hawaii. John, you got your thoughts together? Let's go.
Okay, thought of the evening. Quite a few of them, but I'll go with this one at the moment. Is the pocket relationship a cosmic building of those of us who want microwave relationships or not?
What? Say more. Go deeper. Pastor John, sometimes, man, you deeper than me. Give me some more. What do you mean?
The whole instance of most relationships nowadays, according to the knowledge that people have of relationships, women are wanting anniversary gifts on first dates. So you're telling me I got to provide for you a $2,000 purse, a trip to Aruba, and we're supposed to be eating at Naboo if they just built it there because you don't know if it's there or not. Right. But at the same time, isn't love, the one that's within you, something you still had to build?
Fire.
You cannot tell me revealing your love to me is going to be an instant thing, and it's not going to be instant gratification either. Right. Knowing love between others is going to be a slow process built up over time. You cannot tell me today you want anniversary gifts.
Wow. Heavy stuff.
But anyway, that's all I got. I got more, but I'm gonna leave it there.
John, hey, you got a couple minutes if you want to do it. You gonna leave it there? Okay. It's good. If you want to leave it there, you can leave it there, John. I got you.
No worries. We'll leave it there.
We love you, John. You brought Mountain View in the building. We appreciate the call. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. This is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And now we going over to Houston, Texas. Attila. What up, Attila? Talk to me.
Okay, sorry. My bad. I don't know. I'm slow moving today. What's going on? This topic right here. Jesus. I feel attacked.
Why?
Because I got them sprinkles of that fearful avoiding up in me.
Right.
Still trying to overcome it.
Right.
I will say, though, in regards to the pocket relationships, I see it more so as the fearful avoidant from our perspective, maybe dismissive too. We have our own pocket and you trying to get into it and it feels like an ick. That's how I would describe it.
Got it.
It's not personal. I think a lot of people like to tie these terms into these things, right? And sometimes it is a like intentional deceiving of someone like Serenity was talking about. But I would say from an attachment style perspective, that person just doesn't really want you close to them like that because they feel smothered. And chances are you're probably not doing anything out of the ordinary. It's just a matter of a wound that's open that you're trying to touch.
Say more.
Right, like one thing that I said in the chat is that we make a lot of assumptions about our partners, and in that assumption is your wound. So if I'm assuming that, this person's not sharing with me, they must not love me, because a lot of times that's kind of where the mind goes, especially for a fearful avoidant, because we swing from anxious to avoidant. So if I'm in an anxious state and I'm like, this person's not sharing with me, they don't love me, blah, 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 I'm not necessarily taking the time to assess what it would take for them to actually open up about the thing that I need them to open up about. And so, like, that first clip you played, the lady went on to say that the person who has the most hurt has the most work and should make the initial step to actually create the environment that is, like, conducive to that intimacy with themselves first, and then, of course, branching that out towards the other person so that you can kind of give a person a less hostile space to work in. Because if you think about it, if a person is even thinking about approaching you and being vulnerable with you in some type of way, but you're defensive because you're not getting what you want, your desire is not being met, i.e. yesterday, you're in a state of lack, that's a scary place to be in. I'm in the Sahara trying to walk across the desert to you, and it's just like, oh, I don't know, so I hope I'm making sense. I don't know. Am I making
No. You cooking right now. Hey, I'm not interrupting now. Ooh,
I don't even know if I was making sense. I mean, I think so. If I could paint the picture for you, and I'm sure you've experienced this before in relationships too. If you've dated a fearful avoidant, they start out usually kind of anxious. So that's going to be, wow, this person's really into me. They're really such and such. Let you have an off day or a day where I've sent something within you where, like I said, you're not communicating. So I'm like, they don't love me. They don't care about me. I'm swinging to avoid it. F it. I'm not talking to them no more.
Right.
The number of times that I have had that experience and prematurely either blocked blessings or turned the other person off by essentially being too confrontational or whatever have you, is ridiculous. So I say all that to say that, like I said, a lot of this is not intentional. I think we got to get away from this type of verbiage that demonizes people that don't respond the way they want us to. They're not marionettes.
Wait, stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Attila is on complete fire. When we come forward, more from Houston, Texas.
Be a Mac, a pimp, hustler, a player, but make sure live you is a dope rhyme say. MCs act like they don't know. MCs act like they don't know. MCs act like they don't know.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said